Well, hi. Welcome back. I've missed you. I've been gone. I'm sorry. I don't feel very good. I don't know if you could tell. I feel like shit. You're not supposed to cuss that early, but it's fine. My name is 𝕻𝖙𝖗𝖊𝖔𝖓. I play video games. Today we're continuing Fledgling Manor. We are on episode 4. So if you haven't seen the previous episodes, I'd recommend checking those out, or else you'll be pretty confused. Last we were here, we were deciding who to kill again. It's basically like Big Brother but vampires, which is pretty cool. Episode 3. Wait a minute. No, that's right, right? Wait. Anyway. Load. 14th December. Okay, I guess that was okay. Why did I say episode 4? I don't know. Anyways. How are you? This is our chance. I've missed you. I hope you've missed me. It's weird. I used to have such vivid dreams. That was one thing I always liked about weed, that it tended to kill them. Now there's no tossing and turning, no nighttime visions. I'm just gone. It's kind of nice, actually. Then I remember where I am. Last night, what happened to Jason. Fuck. He didn't deserve that. He was cringy and lame and insanely annoying. But I don't think any of those crimes are worthy of execution. I should say nights, but I did episodes, and now I regret it. The more I think about him, the more I feel like I liked him, even though I didn't like him very much when he was actually talking to me. He was a sweetie, you could tell, but he was a little unbalanced, and I just feel like that was dangerous. But I didn't really vote, so it's fine, right? The decisions I made led to him dying, but I didn't vote. At least he volunteered, I guess. He signed up for a show he could only win by plotting the deaths. He signed up? I forgot that part. Does it make his deaths less awful somehow, the fact that he signed up for it? What Eight said last night was right. Something about being here is warping me. What really fucks me up is that it's not an unfamiliar feeling. I get up and I'm just pissed. I'm getting my drink. Gamer subs is my favorite drink. They said if I wanted them to sponsor me, I had to throw them in there sometimes without being paid for it. So here we are. They're very good, actually. I say actually because I tried Gamer Fuel and I didn't like it. And Gamer subs is very good. Same thing, pretty much. I feel like it just tastes better. And they got more anime girls on their stuff. I get up and I'm just pissed. I wish I had my phone or an old MP3 player or something, just so I could listen to some music or my bass. I need to blow off steam. I don't feel shame. I think it's one of the dumbest, most pointless emotions. But I feel ashamed right now that I'm just cooperating with all of this. No, I'm not just cooperating with it. I'm getting into the game of it. I'm playing to win, or at least to survive. I participated in the deaths of 2 people. And now that I have to get off this mattress and do it all over again. My door opens. It's another PA. How many PAs work on this fucking show? We need you for interviews, Rocky. I follow him back to the room where they interview us and notice another PA carrying some equipment through a door I hadn't seen open before. It looks like there's all kinds of monitors in there. I should come back later and see if I can get inside. I'm thinking about finishing this today. I'm not sure, though. Depends how I feel. Rocky, you seem kind of morose. Can you perk up a little? Can you cheer up? No, I hate being here. I hate doing this. That's not true. You've been making great moves. You made a major alliance with your first night here. And then a brand new alliance in the second episode that brought down one of the most serious competitors here. Sorry, my dog ran into my desk. You're making connections with everyone and all of the other fledglings. Think really highly of you. That was a weird time to spot. Sorry, stop. And it's auto-focusing again. Makes me so mad. It's fine. Just makes me angry. You're using reality TV know-how in a very impressive way. There's no way you hate doing it. You're loving it. Can you tell how snotty I am? I don't love it. That's not what the footage shows. And then it cuts to him laughing, right? I grit my teeth. I don't love the part where someone dies, okay? That's the part I don't love. But the rest of it, the strategy and the voting and the alliances, you can't tell me you don't love that. Do I have chapstick in here? I do not. Dang. I want to tear my microphone off and walk away. Can you tell I'm distracted? I'm sorry. So why don't I? Is just that I want to survive, or is there something else? You're funny, you're cute, you're down to earth, and you're an expert on these shows. Our audience is going to fall in love with you, but you have to meet them halfway. I don't want to kill all these people. You're not killing anyone. This isn't Battle Royale, okay? What's that? It's like the original Hunger Games. Don't worry about it. Dated reference. You're not killing anyone. You're saving yourself. That doesn't seem... Listen, I know your maker didn't tell you much, so I can break this down for you. It is somewhere between taboo and illegal to make new vampires. Almost all fledglings who are caught are killed. They don't have a chance to save themselves. You're lucky. You have a chance to save yourself. If you've been discovered by someone else, you'd already be a pile of ash somewhere in Albany. So cheer up and let's film some fucking interview cutaways, alright? Cheer the fuck up, you stupid bitch. That's me. I'm the dummy. It's alright. My nose. You know, if you probably went through all my videos, I've always had a runny nose, and it's just because I'm allergic to air. We talk a couple of hours, and I find myself laughing and joking about the other fledglings. This is great, Rocky. We're going to get a lot of screen time. Don't you worry. You're going to be so famous after we kill you. By the time I leave, I also got a vampire flavor from GamerSups I'm very excited about. The reality that someone else is going to get beheaded and turned into dust tomorrow night is at the very back of my mind. I had a cool hair thing going and now it's gone. We'll never get it back. When I get to the ballroom for the challenge, I see they've installed 6 podiums with little point screens and microphones like on a game show. If I stay very still, it won't autofocus. I change it every day. My camera. I need a new camera. I don't know what's wrong with this one. We're each directed to stand behind one. Mine has a bunch of old-timey printer paper, the kind with the holes along the sides, and fat felt-tipped marker. Nico comes in with a stack of little cards, and the camera starts rolling. Welcome, fledglings, to your 3rd challenge, the Fledgling Trivia Game. His voice, when he reads off the cards, is totally different than what he's speaking normally, like he's doing a character. We have tested your resolve, we've tested your intelligence, and now it is time to test your powers of observation. We have a lot of material, so let's get right to it. Here's how it works. I am going to ask a question, and you will write down the name of the fledgling you think is the answer to that question. Oh, shit. All of this season's fledglings are eligible answers. Don't forget our dearly departed Grace and Jason. The contestant with the most correct answers wins immunity. Is there another prize this time? Like a coffin or the phone? There is another prize, and that prize is a surprise. He's really proud of that. Nico's face falls the second he's made the corny pun. Nico, we need more energy. You were doing great there. Surprise? Really? Who is this for? Who watches this show? The show could tell the authorities right now if you prefer you work off your debt to society and, say, the sanguine cloister? What the... I need to Google that later. Nico shudders and plasters a smile back on his face. First question. Can you imagine smiling when you talk? Which fledgling is a superfan of Fledgling Manor? That's easy. Write down Jason. Time's up. Show your answers. We all lifted up our pieces of paper. Everyone wrote down Jason's name. Great. Points all round. The point screen on the podium failed to light up. Aren't those... Don't worry about it. They're not plugged in. Keep going. Okay, well, next question. Which fledgling spent their human life as a successful model on the runways around the world? Not Grace, because we know she was corporate, and not Jason, since he definitely would have mentioned that. Tay is a YouTuber. Anya has a lot of poise, but she's short, so I'm pretty sure runaway models are supposed to be tall. 8's tall and skinny, and they seem to have a pretty worldly vibe. Lilia looks like she could model, but she doesn't have very good style. On the other hand, she didn't mention that she's traveled a lot. She even speaks Dutch. I'm going to say 8, because I don't know what 8 used to look like. I write 8's name down. The correct answer is 8. Looks like several of you got it right. Yes. 8 seems kind of embarrassed. I don't understand why. Being a runaway model seems pretty cool. It's embarrassing because they're not a looker anymore, obviously. Next question. Which fledgling was turned into a vampire on a trip to New York City that they took to see their favorite musical? I have no idea who likes musicals. God, it would be so great if it was Stefan, but it definitely isn't. I think it's... I'm going to say... Anya. Yeah? I would say she seems pretty cool. I could see Anya doing theater tech or something like that. I've known gothy theater kids like her. I write down her name. The correct answer is Tay. Shit. And if you've got it right, very nice. Tay, did you end up being able to see that musical? No, I still haven't seen it. Ah, what a shame. Next question. Speaking of musicals, which fledgling is from a farm in Oklahoma? I have no idea. And what does that have to do with musicals? Do people from Oklahoma? No, it's a musical, my dear friend. Do people from Oklahoma have an accent? Which one of us has accents? Do I have an accent? Okay, answer's up. Rocky. Do you not have an answer? Huh? Sorry, I didn't realize that was a time limit. Nico looks at me like I'm history's biggest dumbass. Yeah, Rocky, there's a time limit. Nice. Try to answer more quickly. He looks around at everyone else's answers. The correct answer is Stefan. Points for Stefan, Anya, and Lilia. I look at Stefan and imagine him in overalls with a big straw hat. He actually really built. This totally makes sense. For the first time, I really try to picture him, human Stefan, shoveling hay, maybe selling a jar of jam. Just because he lives in Oklahoma doesn't mean he's a farmer. Selling jam at a farmer's market, threatening a trespasser with a shotgun. Interesting. Do you have anything you want to say about farming, Stefan? No, not really. Come on, give us something. A little morsel of information about farmers, Stefan. I'm sure the audience at home are all fanning themselves imagining you in a pair of overalls. Stefan glares at Nico. When I was a farmer, I was very fast and efficient at castrating pigs. Nico laughs. Wonderful. Next question. Which fledgling comes from a successful family of vampire hunters? Wait. What? Excuse me? What? There's a vampire hunter here? It could also be someone who has been cold. But it's definitely one of the 8 fledglings? Correct! What the fuck? I look around at the others and they all look spooked as hell. I need to get this right. I'm gonna say Lilia because she said something about her family. And it was weird. Lilia seemed really shifty so far. Maybe this is why? Write her name down. The correct answer is Lilia. Hell yeah. I look at Lilia. She's holding a piece of paper with her own name on it, but she's shaking. She looks like she's going to be sick. Nico reads from a card. You wouldn't guessed it by looking at her, but Lilia is a vampire hunter from not one but 2 of history's most renowned vampire hunter families. Wow. How did that happen, Lilia? Did your parents meet at vampire hunting school or something? Yes, they met at Amsterdam. She's still shaking and her voice is so soft I can barely hear it. Amsterdam, what a wonderful city. And they moved to Canada, such a cold places. But your family is enormous. We'd be here until dawn if we wanted to cover all of that. Tell me, how many vampires have you killed, Lilia? I don't know. I never really kept count. That sort of thing never mattered to me. What about your family? How many have they killed? My parents? I don't know. Most of them happened before I was born. We never talked about things like that. And what happened to your family, Lilia? Lilia looks up to him in horror. Please. She looks around the room, at us, at the cameras, at the director, at the legions of PAs who are all watching in silence. Please don't. Do you want me to say it? We can't continue until someone says it. We all stand there in silence behind our stupid podiums, waiting for someone to say something. When Lilia speaks, her voice is so small. I killed them. Aw, poor hun. Who did you kill, Lilia? My dad and my brothers. He reads off the card again, his voice stilted and cold. To be precise, you killed Shamsi, Nikki, and 𝕻𝖙𝖗𝖊𝖔𝖓, 3 well-respected, very established vampire hunters, and the last remaining members of your immediate family. This isn't a trivia challenge anymore. I don't know what it is. The group of people standing behind the lights and cameras has grown. I've never seen this much of the crew. It's like every one of them came to see set just to see what happened. I feel so ugly. I want it to stop. What a dramatic gesture. Were you just fed up with them? Sick of their self-righteous crusade? No, she screams. No, I love them. I still love them. It wasn't my fault. You all did this to me. You're monsters, and you made me a monster. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I woke up and I was so hungry. I was so thirsty. I didn't know what was happening to me. No one told me What was happening to me? You set me loose on that house on purpose. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm so sorry. God, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I never wanted to kill anyone. I just wanted to live my life. Nika continues to read off the card. You wanted to kill vampires and anyone else who isn't a mortal human being. You didn't mind hurting us, taking our families away, and now you are a vampire and you took your own family away. How ironic. Lilia crouches down to the floor and starts making a high whining noise. I need to help her, yeah. Hey, can we stop? That was way too much. She's gonna hyperventilate. Vampires can't. I don't care. She's very clearly not okay. Rocky's right. You antagonized her until she broke down. At least give her a moment to recover. No breaks. Let's keep rolling. The director turns around to look at the crowd that's collected. Back to work, people. Quick dawdling. Next question, Nico. Nico looks at us and back down at his stacks of cards. Which fledgling is a popular celebrity on the internet, also known as the information superhighway? It goes on like that for a while. At a certain point, Lilia stands back up and starts answering the questions again. She never stops shaking. In the end, Nico confers with a group of producers and comes back. The winner of tonight's challenge by an impressive margin is Anya. It's not surprising. Anya only missed a few questions. I've only missed like one. Anya, you win immunity for tomorrow night culling. You may vote on which fledgling will be culled. You may present arguments to the fledgling council, but you are in no danger of being voted out. Anya looks happy. I don't really blame her, except can't stop looking over at Lilia, who is still shaking. And your other prize? No need for backblood tonight, Anya. You have the rest of the night to drink from live human donors to your heart's content. Wow, that sounds good. I've only gotten to drink from a living person once, and it was that that weird challenge. And that's not all. You get to choose one of the other fledgling to share this feast with you. Holy fuck. I try to catch her eye. What a privilege, thank you. Do I need to decide now? Yes, you have the right to choose right now. She looks around at each of us, and her smile falls when her eyes land on Lilia. Lilia, you've had a bad enough evening. I think you could use some cheering up. Anya walks over to Lilia and links their arms together. We need a girls' night. God, I'm jealous. Good for Lilia, though, I guess. She still seems really fucked up. More than half the camera crew starts packing up and following Anya and Lilia to another part of the house. The rest of us head into the hallway. Well, that was really... What was it? Tough to watch. Stefan rolls his eyes. Vampire elders are incredibly petty. This whole show is an exercise in pettiness. I agree. It all strikes me as just immature. And now we have to vote Lilia out, I guess. I feel for her. Why do we have to vote her out? When you hunt something, you end up learning everything about it. She knows too much. Like with Jason and having seen the show? This goes way beyond that. I nod. If what Nico said in there was right, it sounds like Lilia has some pretty serious expertise. Expertise like Stefan. Yeah, Lilia's more like you and the pigs. Huh? What Stefan said about the pigs, castrating them, he's really good at it. Something softens in Stefan's face when I say that, for a fraction of a second at least. Think of it this way. Tay, Lilia has killed vampires before. How many vampires have you killed? I guess that's a good point. I don't want to agree, but I think it's the right call. No, you're both right. I just really hate this. I'm going to sneeze, and it's going to hurt. 8 and Stefan walk away, leave me alone with Tay. I would vote Tay out. Okay. He looks depressed. It's beginning to be a consistent theme for him. I don't want to be here. Yeah, seriously. Tay mutters something, but it's too soft for me to hear. Man. What? Never mind. Okay, see you later. That made me dizzy. As I'm walking away, think about what I want to do with the rest of my night. I remember that weird room full of monitors I saw earlier. What if the door is unlocked? No camera people are following me. They must all be setting up for the biggest blood feast reward scene. It's a perfect chance to check out that monitor room. I head back towards the room where we do the interviews. Sure enough, no one's around. I try the door. Success! I close the door gently behind me and start looking around. There's a big whiteboard on one side with all our names written across it. Under my name, someone's written, lovable idiot, good cutaway interview, tactless, bisexual, underdog, makes too many moves. They're going to blow up in his face. There are lines for my name as some sort of other names. I don't understand what they're supposed to be signifying. Tactless, bisexual, underdog strikes me as kind of funny. That's real. That's me. The handwriting is really hard to read, and I'm less interested in trying to decipher what everyone else's notes say. Anyway, there's a cool machine I can touch. I sit down at the console and start fiddling with buttons and knobs until I figured out how to navigate the file list on the right-hand monitor. There's a folder called Episode 1 Interviews with a list of names. Is it really ethical to watch these? Probably ethics have gone out the window at this point. There are only 4 options in this folder, even though I'm assuming there are interviews for all 8 of us. I select 𝕻𝖙𝖗𝖊𝖔𝖓 as the first one and hit play. I'm honestly having a great time here. A great time? Yeah, is that weird? Yes, I think that's weird. You're not worried about the Cullings? Should I be? I don't really see much in the way of serious competition. Let's talk through your fellow fledglings, and you can tell me how you feel about them. Sure. What do you think of 8? What's wrong with them? I've never seen a vampire look like that before. It just happens sometimes. Like a birth defect? Kinda. Okay, well, I generally think 8 seems fine. We haven't talked very much, but they're level-headed, friendly. Talk about 𝕻𝖊𝖙. 𝕻𝖊𝖙 is a strange one. I feel bad for him. I don't think he'll last long. Jason? Jason, bless his heart, that big dumb idiot. He thinks he has his whole thing figured out. Stefan? I don't care for Stefan if I'm being honest. Why not? His vibes are rancid. He's rude. He has a terrible attitude. He is very competitive. I don't mind someone competitive. I'm competitive. But there's a certain level of politeness I think we all owe one another. Even when you're stabbing someone in the back, you should always be polite, I think. You're from the South, aren't you? Yes, I'm from Georgia. Do you think you're being an element of Southern charm to this competition? Do you think you bring an element? Sorry. Can't read. What a corny thing to say. Don't air that. You don't think you have Southern charm? Of course I'm charming, but it's so tactless to put it that way. Next question. What do you think of 𝕻𝖙𝖏? 𝕻𝖙𝖏 acts like a traumatized chihuahua right now out of the shelter, you know? Like any second there'll be a big noise and she'll get so scared she pees on the floor. What about Grace? Well, she's dead. Talk about her like she's not dead. Grace is pretentious, pompous, grating, and dumb. She's the worst of all worlds. Would you say you were gunning for her from the beginning? I'm not gunning for anyone. I just don't like her. Walk me through how you felt when she propositioned you for an alliance. What was going through your head? She approached me after the challenge, and I'm thinking, oh no, since I can already tell she's one of those. Those what? Types of people I really don't like. But I'm polite, and I smile and nod, and then we're in the kitchen with 𝕻𝖊𝖏, and then we're all in an alliance. What do you think of Rocky? Oh, Rocky is a cutie pie, don't you think so? All nervous and confused. He doesn't have a damn clue what's going on. It's adorable. Do you think he'll make it far into the competition? It depends. I think Rocky certainly could do well if he makes the right choices. Who's the next to go? Stefan, if I had my way. Did you lose the first challenge on purpose? Of course, honey. Great, Anya. You're done here for tonight. You can go in the ballroom for the challenge. Thanks. Huh. She's a little more outspoken in the interviews, but I guess we probably all are. Saying she's having a great time, though? That's weird, especially if that interview was after Grace's execution. Why can't I talk today? I'm so sorry. Is she just being happy for the cameras, or what? It's also a little weird that she was so mean about 𝕻𝖙𝖏𝖏 and then so nice to her tonight. Maybe she really did feel bad for her. I guess that makes sense. Something else itches at me from the back of my mind, a sense of recognition. I don't know what it is, though. I should keep an eye on Anya. The next one is Jason. I'm not ready to see his face again. I click Stefan's. This should be interesting. How do you feel being here? Irritated. I find the knob to fast forward through, and Stefan just gets more and more tantrum from there. Tell me about your alliance. Do you think you'll go all the way to the end together? At a certain point, he just stops answering the questions entirely. I laugh to myself. I totally expect some kind of anime villain monologuing about man's true nature. Oh well, I'll do 𝕻𝖙𝖙 next. Hey guys, I'm Tyler Burrows, but I go by 𝕻𝖙. You may know me from my YouTube or TikTok channels, where I've been reviewing scented candles since I was in middle school. What do you think you bring to the competition? Leadership, definitely. I bring leadership to this competition. I have a lot of experience with leadership roles in my church back home. Your church? Yep, I'm a Christian, and I'm not just ashamed to say that. Even though it doesn't seem to be very cool among vampires, I hope I can cheat some of your minds. He winks. Wow. 𝕻𝖙 is significantly more charming when he's talking directly to a camera. A far cry from the depressed dude I just saw who doesn't want to be here anymore. Let's talk about your first couple of nights. What do you think of the other fledglings? They're mostly very friendly. I was relieved that they've been so accepting. You formed an alliance your first night with Anya and Grace. Now Grace has been cold. What's your strategy going forward? I think I'll keep working with Anya, but we'll need to add more numbers to our side so we can win votes. You spent a lot of time alone with Jason on your first night in the house. Is there anything there? 𝕻𝖙 looks shocked and immediately starts sputtering out aborted half sentences of denial. What? No, of course not. There's nothing there. We didn't... Time alone? I didn't... You and Jason talked for hours in the gymnasium about social media. Oh, that. We didn't fuck. Yes, Jason and I are both content creators, so we talked a bit about that on the first night. He seemed very guarded all of a sudden. Oh, look, he's little plushies. The story producer talks to 𝕻𝖙 slowly, like he's a little kid. I was asking if perhaps Jason, someone you spent a lot of time talking to, is who you're thinking of in terms of getting more numbers for your alliance. Oh, maybe, yeah. I haven't thought about it. Could be. What's wrong? Do you not like Jason? I like Jason fine. I think he's okay. What happened in the gymnasium? Well, I was walking around the house, getting the lay of the land, and my mom used to say, and then Jason ran into me. He said he realized he recognized me from my videos and wanted to come find me. How do you feel about that? Oh, it's always very flattering when people like my content. So he came with me when I wandered around, and then we found the gymnasium. What happened in there? Why are you asking me like that? Nothing happened. We just talked to each other. Jason used some of his equipment, and we talked about social media. I don't know how else you want me to say it. Just stop insinuating things. I really don't appreciate that. What do you think I'm insinuating, 𝕻𝖙? All the stuff about spending the night or time alone together or things happening? Please, can't two men have a conversation about online video strategy and self-help without people like you making it into something that's not? Well, I'm very sorry, 𝕻𝖙. I didn't mean to insinuate anything. I could be more thoughtful about the words I use. Thank you. What transpired? She's just like, yes, very interesting. Anyways, what transpired in the gymnasium when you spoke to Jason about your shared interest in social media? Jason's actually very knowledgeable about fitness, so he was able to use all this weird old-timey equipment. It was really impressive. And he took his shirt off? 𝕻𝖙 waits for the producer to speak again, but she doesn't say anything. What's your point? Is this an interview or some kind of attack? I'm just doing my job, 𝕻𝖙. We saw it on the cameras. We saw. I really don't feel comfortable with nudity. Even thinking about it makes me uncomfortable. So it made you uncomfortable when Jason took his shirt off? Of course it did. I was very uncomfortable. And that's why you don't want him in your alliance? What? No, I didn't say that. But he makes you uncomfortable. I think Jason is great. He doesn't make me uncomfortable. He has a great body, don't you think? I realized 𝕻𝖙 is starting to look like the 𝕻𝖙 I just saw in the hallway, exhausted and kind of haunted. Yeah, Jason is in really good shape. Listen, can we talk about something else? Of course, 𝕻𝖙. Have you found being a vampire so far? He seems relieved to be off the subject of Jason and Jason's body. It's a tough transition for sure. There are certain aspects I really like and others not so much. What parts don't you like? 𝕻𝖙 visibly brightens, like he's been waiting for someone to ask him that question. Did you know that in New York City, I haven't been able to find even one nice, wholesome, evangelical vampire church? Doesn't that strike you as bizarre? Sorry. The biggest vampire city in the world, and the only churches are very creepy. I was turned by a preacher in Times Square, and he's crazy. The rest of them are even worse. I miss my friends and family, too, but I'll be able to deal with them better if I had a good church community I could count on. What parts do you like? I would say that my urges are much more simple now, which has freed me from a great deal of sin and temptation, oddly enough. That seems like a good place to stop. We can talk more later. Oh, that's okay? That's it? Okay, great. Yeah, we'll do a little at a time. She got burned out quick. I look up at the whiteboard at the notes under 𝕻𝖙𝖗𝖊𝖔𝖓 name. Classic old-fashioned Christian closet case. Someone else wrote, I didn't think they made these anymore. The rest of the notes make me feel kind of gross. So I look back on the console, brace myself, and start up Jason's tape. Jason's face appears on the screen. He's given a confident smile to the camera. There's no awkwardness in his introduction or anything. He turns the charm on immediately. He knows the game. Hey, Jason here, and I could not be more hyped to be on Fledgling Manor. I've been watching the show for a while now. My maker gave me the rec, actually. Great lady, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was really pissed at her for a while. See, I come from Queens. Yeah, I'm a local boy. All my outer borough vamps, you know what it is. Growing up in New York, it's different than coming up the rest of the country. You're practically in the center of the universe, you know what I mean? When we go into the city back at the high school to catch the latest action movie, there was always the chance you might actually run into one of the actors afterwards. I saw Vin Diesel banned me off the wagon square stop once, hand to God. It's weird watching this, learning about a guy helped condemned to death. The thing is, I always knew I was a star material. I grew up watching the greats, Reeves, Diesel, Statham, and I knew that one day I was going to be like them. He's getting a soulful look on his face. He's really hamming it up the conventional format, but that's what plays after all. Getting turned changed everything. Suddenly, I can't go out during the day. And, I don't know if you guys know this, but most casting calls are held during working hours. He pauses for a laugh like there's an audience. At least I've been hitting the gym, working out already. I'd hate to be stuck for eternity with noodle arms. This is all great stuff, but could we get some of your thoughts on the other contestants? Sure thing. Who you want to start with? How about Stefan? You're developing a rivalry with him, aren't you? Stefan, wow. I don't know what to think about that dude. At first, I thought we might be able to have something going, like a classic De Niro pan show. I actually never read his name out loud. That's crazy. Pacino. There we go. Got it. Heat kind of thing, you know? But to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared of the guy. You ever just look into someone's eyes and know there's nothing there? Jason shivers theatrically. Major spooky vibes. What do you think of Rocky? Rocky Horror, the Rockyton Files. He's got to be making some of these up. Seems like a nice guy. Maybe not the kind of dude I'd normally hang with. Still, that's what shows like this are all about, right? Different personalities coming together. What do you think Lilia's secret might be? Who knows, man? Maybe she's a plant and there's going to be a big twist this season. Can you imagine? She could just turn out to be one of the child of an elder or something. It says here that you actually volunteered to be on Fledgling Manor. How do you feel about your decision now? Honestly, I feel great. Being one of the first nominees was a bit of a bummer, but Grace practically demanded that she be eliminated with that long speech about vertical integration and positive affirmations. You only get one shot in this crazy world. I believe that when I was a human, and I still believe it now. If you're not taking risks, you're not living. I mean, hell, you guys know what I mean. What's your strategy moving forward? Look, everyone knows early game alliances don't last forever. I think Stefan might have to be the next to go. Even though you're allied with him? Absolutely. Who else do you think is the biggest threat to you? For real? I don't see a whole lot of competition from this crowd. Anya's way too nice to win something like this. Lilia's classic shrinking violet. No offense. But she's probably not long for this world. 𝕻𝖙𝖗𝖊𝖔𝖓 and 8 are both, well, how do I put this nicely? They're weirdos. A lot of weirdos on this season. You guys notice that? If possible, I like to try and keep Rocky around as long as I can. Ah, that's nice of him at least. Because if it comes down to the two of us, that's a lock for me. Ah. You're familiar with the way the show changes when there are only a few contestants left. Of course. I mean, you gotta have a twist, right? And once you're down to 2 or 3 people, voting doesn't really work anymore. Huh. I guess I've been so caught up in day-to-day survival that I hadn't been thinking about that. What's gonna happen to the final 2? One of my favorite twists has to be from season 5 in New Mexico. Hey, that's where I'm from. Where they pretended they were letting both final contestants go and then secretly followed them back to their homes. Then bam, in the middle of the day while they're still asleep, they both get attacked by hunters and show tipped off. Jesus Christ, that is so fucked up. And Jason's still talking about it like it was just good TV. 𝕻𝖙𝖙 never had a chance. They staked him before he even knew what was happening. 𝕻𝖃𝖃, though, she was smarter. She had a security system that woke her up when they busted in. The hunters tear open the coffin, expecting to find a sleepy vamp, and then Jason throws some punches, mouthing impact sounds. She drops from the ceiling and knocks their heads off. After that, she was crowned the true winner, and boy, did she deserve it. Is something like that going to happen here? Great, great. Well, I think we got enough of everything we need for now. Sure thing. Take care, all you fine vamps out there, and I'll see you soon. Kind of wish Jason was still around so I could ask him more about these twists. Nobody else here knows much more about anything about the show. It's late. I was watching those interview videos all night. I can hear the PAs walking around yelling, 15 minutes to nominations! Fledglings, back to your rooms! I bump into Lilia and Anya on the way back. We all hurry to the corridor where our rooms are. They look sated and are kind of leaning on each other like two drunk people. Anya turns and looks at me. She raises her eyebrows. Who are we nominating tonight? Everyone else is saying... I look at Lilia. Anya frowns and shakes her head. No, that's stupid. Trust me on this. She puts her hands together and looks up dramatically like she's desperately praying. Oh, she thinks 𝕻𝖃? Really? He doesn't want to be here. It's an easy one. Okay. I look over at Lilia. She's oblivious to our entire conversation. That must have been some good blood. Honestly, Lilia looks the happiest I've seen her. If this is her last night of existing, at least it was a good one. I think back to Anya's interview. She said she's having a great time, and right now she sure looks that way. That's weird, right? Night, I call out before I close my door. Another ballot on my desk. Another execution tomorrow. If 𝕻𝖃 doesn't want to be here anymore, I don't really blame him. My emotions are a fucking mess. Oh, shit. Okay, let's see. Numb myself would mean like smoke pot, probably. Right? No, maybe. Change my perspective. These are odd answers. I'll keep a hand on what's actually happening. I hate this. Oh no, I'm dripping. The story producer and everybody can say whatever they want about how we're actually so lucky to be here. Sure, there are fun elements to this experience. I've always wanted to be on a reality show, and now I'm on one. I'm a vampire. I have powers. That's all pretty neat. But we're still prisoners in line for execution, playing a game for someone else's entertainment. I'm not going to pretend this is normal or okay. I can feel the sleepiness coming over me. That means morning is almost here. Time to do this ballot. Let's go through the names again. Anya, her name's crossed out because she won immunity. Thinking about her interview video, I feel like maybe I don't understand her at all. 8, we agreed to work together. There's no reason for me to back out of that now. Lilia, being a vampire hunter, makes her an insanely dangerous competitor. I feel bad for her, but that doesn't change the fact that she won't probably love to kill me. She would probably love to kill me. Rocky, I don't think anyone's circling my name tonight, probably. Not unless 𝕻𝖃, 𝕻𝖃, and 8 were doing some kind of elaborate ruse. I guess Anya and Lilia could have decided to scheme against me. That doesn't really make sense either, though. Stefan, oh boy, Stefan, farm boy Stefan, he's a dick, and he makes me really angry, but I'm kind of beginning to understand him. He's still a psycho, but I'm less worried about him than I am of some of these others. He's going to have to go eventually, but that move is going to take some coordination. 𝕻𝖃, I always struggle with this game to read it. I'm so sorry. He seems pretty fucked up since the Jason thing happened, and after seeing his interview, I really feel for the guy. Anya thinks we should nominate him, and she has a point. He doesn't want to be here, he told me himself. Another wave of sleepiness hits me. I have to pick a name. I'm gonna pick 𝕻𝖃. He's checked out. I don't know what's in his mind, but he's not here. Sorry, 𝕻𝖃. Circle 𝕻𝖃's name and hold it up to the camera. Before I can think about it further, I'm collapsing onto the mattress. Another night. If I'm looking for upsides in all of this, there's one. I can reliably sleep through the night now. The day, I mean. It's kind of ironic. I used to wake up scared all the time. Nightmares, terrors, whatever, but I was never really in any danger. It was all in my fucked up head. And now I sleep soundly the whole day through. Though I guess if I ever get out of here, I'm going to have to worry about someone like Lilia breaking into my house, cutting my head off while I'm dead to the world. Maybe that would be the best way to go. I wonder how many vampires die in their sleep, more or less than humans? Proportionally speaking, I mean. I assume there are way fewer vampires than there are people, otherwise the math wouldn't work out. A knock on the door shakes me off this train of thought. Time to get up, pal. I don't want to go to school today. Har har, very funny. Do you guys get paid for this or what? He looks astonished at the question. Of course we do. Benefits? What do you care? Just trying to make conversation. Look, if you're trying to lure me into some kind of we're all victims here thing, it's not going to work, okay? I can't help you break out of here, and even if I could, I wouldn't. What? I was just curious, dude. Snack. Good. Good. Get fucked. Did someone try that? It's probably best I don't talk about it. Alright, sure. Whatever. No, by the way. No? No, we don't get benefits. Oh, damn. Just get moving, okay? I do like I'm told and hustle over to the ballroom. The vibe has definitely shifted since last night. Everyone's tenser than usual, which is saying something considering we're in the room we only ever go in to decide who's going to die next. Learning the truth about 𝕻𝖙𝖏 has clearly shaken everybody up. On one hand, why should we care? We've only been vampires for a little while. Maybe her family only hunted the really shitty ones. On the other, it's like Stefan said, she's becoming a huge threat overnight. So far, she's been playing quiet, trying to lay low. Actually, given what we found out about her family, I don't think she was playing at all. She's traumatized. And now she barely seems to be holding it together, sitting in her seat and staring off into the middle distance. 𝕻𝖏𝖏, fuck. I find my seat between Stefan and 𝕻 and settle in for another grueling night. We return once more to Fledgling Council. He's already got the envelope this time and waves it theatrically in front of him for the camera. The names of the 2 fledglings up for elimination are in this envelope. Yesterday, truths were revealed that will forever change the course of this season of Fledgling Manor. But a fledgling is a fickle creature, buffeted about this way and that by whims. He pauses to look conspiratorially around the room. And desires. What the hell is he talking about? He tenses his long fingers and turns towards Anya and Lilia, who are seated next to one another. Did you girls have a nice time last night? Anya narrows her eyes at him. Lilia just crutches her arms to herself. We did, Nico. Thanks for asking. Am I loudly eating my snacks? Yes. Nico opens his mouth to say something else. An eyebrow arched in a way that feels sleazy, but Anya speaks first. I think that's enough. Yes, I suppose it is. Oh, Anya and Lilia. Damn good for them, I guess. No wonder Lilia looks so happy at the end of the night. Good way to get your mind off grief. Or immediate doom. Let's go with the proceedings, shall we? Sorry, my mouth is all stupid. Okay. He slices the envelope open and pulls out the paper inside. Big surprise here. Your first nominee is Lilia. Nobody shocked, of course. And your second is 𝕻. Which of who you would like to speak to your defense first? Well, I guess I will. All eyes are on Lilia. She unwraps her arms from around her body, closes her eyes for a few seconds, and then reopens them, like she's trying to steady herself or something. I know you. I know each of you. What you are, I know it better than ever now. But do you know me? When you found out about me yesterday, some of you decided I had to go. Why? Is it because you think I'm a threat? The same reason you nominated and then voted out Jason? If that's the case, then why isn't Stefan back up here tonight? Maybe it's out of a misguided sense of revenge or pride. You think I need to be punished, humiliated for what I've done. But nothing could hurt me worse than what's already been through. I've never heard Lilia talk like this. So why should you keep me? Because I know more than any of you, and I can help you. I'd guess all of us, 8 and Stefan, returned the longest to go. Of all of us. But Stefan doesn't have any interest in the Elder Society, and 8 was probably never allowed to join it for being 𝕻𝖏. 𝕻𝖏? What does she call them? 𝕻𝖏? I know how it works. More than any of you, anyway. If you think what happened to me yesterday was bad, you have no idea what's coming. Some of you might still have families. What makes you think they won't bring them here? Won't make you kill someone you love so their jaded audience can feel some twinge of excitement in their dead hearts? Wait, could they do that? I guess there's nothing stopping them. They kidnapped me and forced me into this, so they could do the same to someone I know. We voted out Jason. Fine. He was sweet. And he knew a little about this particular exercise in vampiric sadism, but he didn't know what he was getting himself into. I do, and if you vote me off, you're going to be like children stumbling in the dark. Lilia sits down and crosses her arms. Well, she's probably not wrong about knowing more than the rest of us, but is that a reason to keep her around or to vote her out? Nico looks pleased. Well, look who came out of her shell a little. 𝕻, you're up. 𝕻 nods and stands up, clearing his throat. I agree with Lilia. You should vote for me. Nico turns like he isn't sure he heard him right. 𝕻, you know what's going on, right? The stress hasn't gotten to you? You just said that your fellow fledglings should vote to execute you rather than Lilia. 𝕻 straightens himself up and nods slowly. I know what I said, Nico. I can't do this anymore. Oh, God. 𝕻 is volunteering himself to be executed? Everyone else seems just as surprised as me. I knew he wasn't having a great time of things, but this? As some of you know, I masterminded the vote against Jason. I'm the reason that Jason is dead. I did it because I'm weak. I've known this for a long time, but with what I did to Jason, I can't hide it from it anymore. And it's not just that. The longer I stay in the show, the longer I survive, the more people are going to die. I can't live with that. My life isn't worth any of yours. Participating in Fledgling Manor goes against everything I believe. I see that now. I've been selfish up until this point, putting my life ahead of my values, but I'm done with that. He's actually doing it. 𝕻. Nico, if it's possible, I'd like to skip the vote entirely. I volunteer myself to be called. Nico's looking around for one of the producers, the director. Anyone could help him figure out what to do. Eventually, the director walks over and whispers in his ear. Nico nods, and the director slinks off. Well, I think we're all very humbled by your self-sacrificing and not at all insane gesture, 𝕻. But I'm afraid the traditions of Fledgling Council must be upheld. The vote will proceed as normal. What? But I don't want to be a part of this anymore. You can't make me. Nico laughs at that. We can't make you? 𝕻, we've been making you do it from the start. The only reason you're getting out of this house is as the winner or when you're voted out like Jason and Grace. No. 𝕻 seems genuinely crushed when he sits back down. Anya was right. He really doesn't want to be here anymore. If this were a normal human reality show, he would have just leave it, and it would be a very special episode. But he can't, which means, oh no, 𝕻. Let's get to voting, people. Back into the voting booth. If they just let 𝕻 sacrifice himself, then we wouldn't have to do this, but of course, that's not going to happen. And I know Nico was bullshitting about the traditions of Fledgling Manor. This isn't about vampire tradition or law, it's about entertainment. Letting 𝕻 be a sacrificial lamb wouldn't amuse anyone. It's too noble, too easy. So they're making us vote. And I bet the director had the exact same thought that's going through all our heads right now. 𝕻 is no longer a threat. I know I nominated the guy, but strategically, voting for him just doesn't make any sense. He's already given up. There'd be no point in eliminating him tonight. I hate that I'm thinking this way, but no matter how fucked up this is, it's still a reality show. Everyone's going to be gunning for Lilia. She's a threat, and she's more of a threat than Jason or Stefan, even now that we know what she is. It's not just that she's better equipped to take on the challenges still to come. It's that for all we know, she could snap and decide to murder all of us when we least expect it. I doubt I would know how to deal with a regular vampire hunter, and one who's as strong as fast as I am, I'd have no chance at all. The irony of it is, if 𝕻 had fought for himself, he might have actually picked up a few votes. As it is, I'll be surprised if he gets more than 2, his and Lilia's. I slice open my thumb with a knife and place my bloody thumbprint next to Lilia's name. What? I can't choose? I don't say anything as I leave the booth. It's not much, but they're not getting a quip out of me this time. The 6 of us return to the ballroom and retake our seats. Time to face the pain. Nico spreads his arms wide. Blood has been spilt. The voters have been tallied. You know the deal by now. He holds out his hand for the basket, but the PA holding it just coughs sharply. Yes? You have to say the full uninterrupted line, Nico. It's the cornerstone of the show. Nico groans. Fine, fine. He resets his posture and spreads his arms again. Blood has been spilt, the voters have been tallied. One fledgling shall be cold this night. The PA hands him the basket this time, and Nico grabs it, mouthing a sarcastic thank you to the guy, and starts plucking out the ballots. Tay. That'll be his or Lilia's. Lilia. Could be mine. Tay. Looks like you might get your wish after all, Tay. Or maybe not, Lilia. Lilia. 3 and 2. Nico smiles and shows the last vote. Lilia. I think we all knew that was going to happen. All of us except Tay, who looks confused and broken. Lilia looks calm. She rises from her seat and there's a sudden burst of movement. Is she making a break for it? She kicks one of the... Sorry, the sound scared me. She kicks one of the chair's legs off and grabs the piece of broken wood, leaping across the circle towards Nico with the jagged makeshift stake. Lilia comes down on Nico so fast and hard that he can barely move before she's on him. She slams the stake down towards his chest, but he jerks to the side at the last second, and the wood buries itself into his shoulder. He howls in pain and backhands his attacker, toppling her to the ground. Lilia rolls to her feet and crouches like a cornered animal, glancing around the room for anything she can use, for anyone she can count on. This is your chance, our chance. If you help me, we can take out this monster and make a break for it. I realize she's talking to us. God. I look around. No one is moving. Lilia is someone who hurts monsters, real, actual monsters. She's the good guy here, probably, and she might be right. If we sided with her, maybe we could get out. Yeah, she's right. We should be fighting. I look around for the 6 of us fledglings, then at Nico, and then the 20 or so crew members watching, and my heart sinks. Even with Lilia's hunter know-how, there's no way we could beat the makers of Fledgling Manor in a fight right now. Come on, help me. Why give me the option then? Shame and guilt twist up inside me. I'm sorry, Lilia. I'm not the only one who's done this math. Nobody even gets out of their chairs. Seeing that she's alone in this, she turns back to Nico, who's slowly pulling the chair leg out of his flesh. That wasn't very polite, Lilia. She snarls at him and rushes at him again, this time flickering a small blade out of her sleeve. Where did she get a knife? Did she steal it from the voting booth? Lilia slashes at Nico's neck with a knife, but he's so tall that she's off balance trying to hit him. He moves quickly, too, in the strange, hypnotic way. Nico dances around the Lilia's flurries a little while longer, and then... Fantastic stuff, Nico. We think we got enough footage if you'd like to put her down. Nico reaches out and grabs Lilia's wrist on her next slash. He lifts her to the air, literally kicking and screaming, and raises her up to his face. She's pounding her free hand against his huge body. Then something weird happens with Nico's eyes. They kind of shimmer for a second, and then Lilia drops the knife and her whole body goes slack. Nico releases his grip on her wrist and she falls to the floor in a heap. Is she dead? Not yet. He looks disgusted as he picks splinters out of his wounds. The director strolls over to Nico, a huge smile plastered on his face. Nico, darling, that was wonderful, just wonderful. It better have been. I could have died. Not a chance. You were in total control of the situation. But you can't do the execution looking like that. Wardrobe and makeup for Nico, please. The rest of you, get out into the courtyard. We're all milling out, stunned and dismayed except for Stefan, who seems positively delighted at what we just saw. I didn't think she had it in her. Did you hear what they said? Did they know Lilia was going to attack Nico? Of course they did. Why do you think they let her take the knife? The knife? There are cameras on us in the voting booth. It's pretty unlikely that Lilia would have been able to take it without them seeing. Did she think she'd slip by them, or did she know they were on her and just went for it anyways? In her position, I guess she didn't have much of a choice. Lilia tried to fight her way out, and we just watched. And now we're going to watch as she's executed. It takes a while for everyone to get set up. Nobody seems up to talking much while we wait. When the PAs finally drag her out, she's conscious again. But her eyes are cloudy and dull, just like it was with Grace and Jason. What do they do back there? Is Nico using some kind of vampire powers to stun them like that? But then why take them out of the room first? I don't get it. Nico and the executioner flank Lilia as she's dumped onto the stone courtyard. All the fight's got out of her, that's for sure. Lilia, I'm sorry. The will of the Fledgling Council will now be carried out. Why am I struggling? Lily doesn't look at any of us. She must have hated all of us, but not nearly as much as she hated herself. The executioner hefts her sword high above her small frame and wonder for a moment who she is. Does she enjoy the work, or is it something she's been forced into? What does she look like? Can she even talk? Maybe we'll never find out. Then the sword comes down. That's it for Lilia. And that's it for her legendary family of hunters too, I guess. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. 1 fledgling falls and 5 remain. Nico turns to leave with the executioner, then stops and turns to look at us over his shoulder. And if any of you have any ideas about trying something stupid, well, you saw what happened to little Miss Van Helsing. Now I need a drink. I could use one myself. I think I'll join you if you don't mind. A little company would be nice right now, yeah. Anya and 8 head back inside, and it's just me, Tay, and Stefan left in the courtyard. I should probably say something. Tay tried to throw himself on a grenade for us, and then had to watch Lilia die anyways. Tay, I'm... shut off when I see those burning eyes watching us from the distance above. But just like last time, they're gone as quickly as they appeared. Nobody else seems to have noticed. I turn back to Tay. I'm sorry, man. He doesn't say anything for a moment. He's just looking up into the night sky. Tay, are you alright? Then he looks at me, and his expression in a total shock. He's got this big, serene smile on his face. I'm alright. Thanks, Rocky. You sure? I've never been more sure, actually. You're kidding. I'm not. I get it now. You get what exactly? I know I'm here. I meant what I said earlier. I was trying to be a good Christian by laying down my life so that the others could live, but I see now that it wasn't God's plan for me. Oh, right. Don't you guys get it? This is a sign. A sign? It's a sign that I'm not supposed to die here. I have a greater purpose. And what's that? When I was turned into a vampire, it's like my whole life was taken from me. I didn't know why God would let this happen, but now I know why he did. I'm supposed to witness to the vampire community. What? I think Tay might have lost it. Why else would God lay down this challenge before me and then let me survive even when I was willing to die? You don't think it might be because everyone saw how pathetic you were and decided to take out the bigger threat while we could? Tay doesn't even flinch at Stefan's words. He just turns to him with his beatific smile and shakes his head. Stefan, I know you think that vampires are soulless monsters, but that isn't true. If it were, how could I have done what I did? Stefan sneers at him. So what does this mean exactly? It means that I have to win Fledgling Manor. I can't serve God on Earth if I'm dead, after all. Don't get me wrong, Rocky. You seem like a nice guy. I notice he's pointedly not addressing Stefan right now. But I need to get out of here. I need to enter vampire society, and that means you're going to have to go too. To go, sooner or later. What? Maybe you could take some solace in the fact that your death will help bring the light of Christ to the vampire world. Tay, you're talking crazy. You think vampire society is interested in Christianity? Look at what it does. It's the reason we're even in this situation. Human society is also full of sin, Rocky. People have waged wars, taken slaves, committed genocide. Yeah, and a lot of that's been in the name of God. People make mistakes. We're misguided and weak. That doesn't mean we're unworthy of God's love. Vampires aren't so different from human beings. We have souls. We have temptations. We're a part of the divine plan. Before you go to sleep tonight, ask God for forgiveness. The Lord our God is merciful and forgiving, even though we have rebelled against him. Daniel 9:9. You're really serious about this, aren't you? Of course I am. And I hope you'll take it seriously too. God loves you, Rocky. He's starting to sound like some of my relatives. You too, Stefan, no matter how you try to fight it. Will you pray for forgiveness tonight? I expect Stefan to growl at Tay or laugh at him. Instead, he just narrows his eyes. That's none of your goddamn business. With that, Stefan stalks off into the house. I better be going too, I guess. Good night, Rocky. May God grant you a peaceful and tranquil sleep. Night, Tay. Not sure what else to do, I head back into my room to regroup. I find my door already open. Someone's inside. It's 8. Are we going to make out? There you are, Rocky. Oh, hey, how are you doing? I'm holding up, you. To be honest, I'm a little stressed out. After tonight, the last thing I needed was to get lectured to about God. What happened? Tay got a sign. He thinks God let him live so he could witness to vampire kind. Oh, That's disappointing. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. From the time we spent together, he seemed like a pretty cool guy, kind of shy and awkward but sweet. I mean, I knew he was into all that, but this seems kind of crazy. A bit, yeah. They're not into it, right? As a rule, no. Vampire society isn't really about loving your neighbor, more like hating and fearing him. That's what I figured. Though I guess a lot of human beings who claim to believe all that stuff aren't much better. Regardless, Tay's back in it to win. Wow, do you think he has a shot? I don't know, maybe? Having something to believe in can really motivate people for better or worse. Yeah, it can. And that's kind of why I'm here, actually. Want to get a chance to talk to you away from the others. Oh, okay, about what? About what's coming, about what you believe. From the first night in the garden, I knew there was something about you. Something that made you different from the others. Ooh, does he think we're cute? I've been waiting for the romance this whole game. Maybe. It's just that this was your introduction to our world. What do you mean? The others, they got some taste of the glamour and power of being something other than a human being before they were forced into the show. But you? All you've known about being a vampire so far is fear, paranoia, and backstabbing. I mean, if Fledgling Manor is any indication of how vampire society works, then it's pretty fucked up. It's more fucked up than you know. But there are plenty of vampires who aren't a part of it. Some of them stay out of it by choice, like 𝕻𝖙𝖏. Others are kept out of it. Lilia mentioned something like that at the counselor. She called 8 something. Does this have to do with what Lilia called you? She said you were a 𝕻𝖏𝖙𝖏. Is that a vampire term for outcast or something? 8 laughs at that. Sort of. It's Arabic. It means a mistaken one. A mistaken? An old term for someone like me. Someone who reacted badly to the turning process. Or did you think I always looked like this? I mean... Rocky, relax. I'm just playing with you. I wouldn't have gotten on many runways with the proportions, although Rick Owens would probably be more interested now. Anyway, nobody's sure why, but some people, when they're turned, their bodies change more than usual. And traditionally, the law says that in those cases, the new vampire should be disposed of. Shit, that's awful. In this case, it isn't just pointlessly cruel. If you're trying to conceal your existence from humanity, then it's your interest to not have 7 feet tall monsters with claws running around. But some of us survive anyways. The point is, you and me have both seen the worst of this world, and I feel like I can count on you. You do? Yeah, and Rocky, this is bigger than the next culling or the one after that. What do you mean, like a final 2 alliances? More than that, but that's all I can say right now. They suddenly tilt their head in the direction of the camera on the wall. Oh. Oh shit, what is this about? Do you trust me? They haven't really given me any reason not to so far. Of everyone here, 8 seems to be the most personable and well-adjusted. Anyway, who else is left? Tay's launched his crusade, 𝕻𝖏𝖏's a lone wolf, and I have no idea what Anya's up to now that Lilia's gone. Yeah, I trust you. Can I ask you something, though? What is it? Well, I can understand having to hide from humans, but why are you wearing that mask here? Oh, that. They're making me. They're making you? Sure, I guess the producers like the idea of having a freak on the show, but I thought I was a little too ugly to have my face on camera. Ugh, that's fucked. I'm sorry. They shrugged their shoulders. It's fine. It's not like I expected kindness from them. Neither should you. After everything that's happened, I definitely don't. So who are we going to nominate tomorrow? We can see how the challenge goes and take it from there. At this point, we have to take everyone seriously. We're both been laying pretty low so far. That'll work to our advantage. That's true. Neither of us has won any challenges so far, but neither of us had been nominated either, probably because nobody was worried about us. And Rocky, there's one thing I want you to keep in mind. What's that? It's not all bad. What isn't? This, what we are. The world they built for us is sick and twisted, but we don't have to live in it. I don't know exactly where we came from or how we walk around when we should be dead, but I don't think it has to be tragic or horrible. We can do things that no human beings can do. Feel things we never could when we were alive. Get the feeling that they are talking about more than just drinking blood. Okay, I'll try to remember that. I know you probably have a lot of questions. We'll talk more soon, and maybe I can answer some of them. Sounds good. See you tomorrow, 8. Good night, Rocky. Don't let the bedbugs bite. I shut my door, and I look up at the robotic camera that's been following me around this room. I guess it's just you and me again, whoever you are. Realize I don't have much to say to them. Maybe I don't feel as lonely now. In fact, there's a weird sense of something inside me. Is that optimism I hear? Determination? I lie down and hope I'm making the right decision. Episode 4. Demonic music and reality television. All right. And with that, we end the episode. Sorry I struggled so much. I don't feel good still, and the black and white's kind of hard on the eyes. But if you like this so much, please like them. If you like this video, please check out my other stuff. I talk better in some of them, I swear. And if you have any other vampire games you know about that I haven't played, let me know. I'm not tired. I just woke up. I haven't been breathing. Look at the bags under my eyes. I'm tired. Anyways, thank you guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next video.